Hi, I'm Greg Brown.
I'm David Ivy, and this is Dynamic Discussions.
This is another weekly installment in a video series that we're bringing to you about fall protection, the equipment, and how you use it. This week's topic is not a question, it's actually a personal experience that I had. At my house in the evenings, as is often the case when my wife has control of the remote for the television, we're watching a home improvement show. And it's one of those things to where you watch somebody magically in 30 minutes turn a dump into a mansion, and then your wife suggests to you, hey, I think we should do this. And so one of the times that we were watching it recently, my wife noticed someone wearing a fall protection harness. And she kind of nudged me and said, hey, look at this, there's somebody wearing a harness. And I looked at it and kind of watched for a couple of seconds as they cut away, and went back to it. And I said, yes, and they'll be wearing that harness if they fall. They'll be wearing that harness so he peels them off of the ground. And that kind of leads me into the thought this week that I've watched home improvement television shows, I've been tortured with them, and I've liked some of them too. And I've seen them use fall protection and safety equipment a lot of times. I don't know that I've ever seen anyone on a home improvement television show use it correctly. The scenario that I saw was pretty crazy. Someone was using the right equipment. They were just using it in the wrong way. They were using it looked like, just your typical fall protection bucket kit that they went and picked up or that you can buy online from a lot of different retailers. There was a harness, there was a rope and grab, and then there was a roof anchor that was nailed in as well. And so the person had it, and they had all the slack pulled out of it. The grab was just hanging loosely, and they were on a small roof section, probably 8 feet off the ground with like 30 feet paid out in their rope. And I could suggest a couple of different things, and due to licensing, I can't show you the photos or the videos of that. But I just kind of wanted to shed light on kind of what I saw and what I see a lot.
So actually, I've noticed the same thing. Not too long ago, I was watching one of those shows, and there was a fella tied off with a harness on, and you're like, yeah, he's got a harness on. However, I started looking at his personal fall protection system, kind of what we do now. So he actually had just a standard rope you would have on a job site tied around his D-ring. We know that you need a rated rope with a vertical lifeline assembly like you would have in a bucket kit, attached to his dorsal D-ring. But instead he had a rope knotted around it, which wouldn't, if you were to fall, it definitely wouldn't arrest the fall.
So was there any arresting device at all, shock pack?
There was no shock pack, no energy absorption device. So the likelihood of him hitting the ground, if he were to fall, be very likely.
Yes, so that kind of leads us into, not that we're just ragging on television shows, but it leads us into training and awareness of your situations. So when you're wearing a personal fall arrest system, what I kind of like to say is this harness is not a Superman cape. You have to do everything correctly. Wearing your harness is step one. That's a good thing. You should wear that, but what you're connected to means a lot too, and how you're connected to it means a lot. So if you're a safety professional out there and you're working at your home, or your buddies are coming to the roof of your house or something like that, if you guys are going to tie off, make sure you do it the right way. And if you need some training material, I know that our website is a great resource on how to calculate your fall clearance. If you go to maltadynamics.com, you can find resources there, downloadable materials that you can do. And also what I'd like to see in our inbox this week is maybe some examples, maybe some photos of some people on television shows using fall protection wrong. I think we'd have a really good time with that. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.